folks, class is in session. I'm your host, Ashley Stevens, and this show exclusively on Black Enterprise highlights the latest happenings inside HBCU classrooms, the business side of HBCU sports, public policy issues facing these historic institutions, and the overall state of Black higher education. Now, we're excited today because we're speaking with two HBCU students who were recruited from an opportunity to have full-time employment in the field that they love, emerging technology. We're going to speak with two staffers who currently work at American Airlines, and they were recruited directly from Black Enterprise's BE Smart HBCU Hackathon, hosted by American Airlines. That's right. There's a new opportunity coming up, and applications are closing soon for this year for HBCU students who are interested in the emerging tech and IT spaces. And did we mention it's free? Yes. The BE Smart HBCU Hackathon takes place November 2nd through the 5th at American Airlines' beautiful headquarters in Dallas, Texas. There is no cost to students. Teams can form. Chaperones must also be a part of this great experience. You must be an HBCU student. You can learn more at blackenterprise.com/hackathon. But to tell you a little bit more about it, let's take a look at this clip. Awesome. As you can see, the HBCU Hackathon is a really exciting venture that gets students interested in jobs and IT and prepares them with hands-on applications in this space. I'm excited to welcome my guests today, Saraah Cooper and Taiwo Raji, both from American Airlines. Good afternoon and welcome, Saraah and Taiwo.
Good
Hi,
afternoon.
how are you doing? Pleasure to
Awesome.
be here.
Listen, I'm great and glad to have each of you here. Let's first start. If you could each tell me about your title and your day-to-day work with American Airlines and how long you've been there. I'll start with Saraah.
So I'm a developer on the emerging technology team. I've been at American for about 3.5 years, a little bit over 3 years, and honestly, I love it here. I've met people like Ty, and I'm glad to have this opportunity to talk to you guys.
Awesome. Thank you. And Taiwo, how long you been with American and what do you do?
Uh, yeah, we've actually started at the same time, so also slightly over 3 years. I am on the data platform team right now. I've had the chance to jump around a lot of data related jobs. I've been a data engineer and now I'm a platform engineer, and I also love it here. I'm very excited to give other people the opportunity, and everyone should definitely be taking this opportunity if they can.
Awesome. Well, let's get right into that opportunity. Now, you both were recruited by American Airlines directly from the BE Smart HBCU Hackathon. Let's go back to your college experience. Where did each of you go to college? What's your degree in? And tell us why you chose an HBCU. I'll start with Saraah.
So I went to school at Morgan State University, all the way in Baltimore, Maryland, so pretty far from Fort Worth, Texas. And my major was computer science.
Got it. And why'd you choose an HBCU?
So I chose an HBCU like back in high school. They had a lot of students get to go to different HBCUs and different colleges just to see what they wanted to do for their future. And I noticed that HBCUs had a really great culture. And I wanted to be in an environment where I felt like I was welcomed. And I can definitely say at HBCUs, you will absolutely feel like you're welcome. And you will definitely feel supported from your professors, which is also essential into your like graduating and getting your degree.
Fantastic. Welcome and support. I like to hear that. Taiwo, where'd you go to school? What did you study? And why'd you choose an HBCU?
So I had a little bit of a different story. I went to the illustrious Tuskegee University, and I had a bit of a journey to get there. I originally went to University of Maryland. Um, at that point in my life, things weren't really going well, so I got the opportunity to choose a bunch of different schools. And I had an uncle who worked really closely with Tuskegee, and he told me to come down there. And that has to be one of the best decisions I made in my life. Like my life actually changed from that point on. And just like Saraah said, it was so different to feel really supported by my teachers in the classroom as opposed to what was happening before. And it really helped me get to the end going to Tuskegee. So I very much appreciate my time there.
Fantastic. Glad you had a very positive experience there as well. Well, how did each of you hear about the BE Smart HBCU Hackathon? I'll start with Taiwo.
One of my professors I used to always go to him to ask him for like problems and things to do. And he was like, "Oh, there's this hack coming up. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Trip outside of school? Sure." Say less. And that's how I got roped into it. And the first year, went back the second year, and just really loved the experience. Enjoyed the hacking, enjoyed the coding, enjoyed everybody I met. And so I was like, if we're doing this again, please just first name on the list. Let me know.
Awesome. And Sarah?
For me, it was actually a little bit similar as well. Like me and Ty have the same mindset when it comes to if it's an event or if it's some kind of trip we can do during college, like I'm going to take advantage of it. I was in the hackathon mindset. So any kind of conference or event or hackathon, I was definitely saying yes to. I actually got the invitation from a professor I actually didn't know. They were looking for people to fill extra spots on their team. And I was like, I know nothing about this, but I am about to jump, feet first and enjoy myself.
That's and a good thing that you did, right? Were either of you aware at the time when you joined on site that there were recruitment opportunities for jobs?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I really like when I say I was thinking this is a free trip, that was all that was on my mind. This is a free trip, week vacation in the middle of the semester. Let's go. And that's how when I got the letter for the interview after, I was so shocked. I was really, really happy then.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about, listen, hacking is new to me. I'm a media and communications person. So, for someone who may not be familiar, tell us exactly what HBCU students will experience at the hackathon. I'll start with Sarah.
So honestly, like I wish I was back in college and getting to do these hackathons because in a hackathon, you get a chance to actually do what you've been learning to do. So you get a chance to build something, take the knowledge that you've gained and create something with it. So I'm someone who loves to create, loves to try to do arts and crafts. And hackathons are literally like the coding version of arts and crafts. So you can take any kind of problem, any kind of thing that seems cool and take information that you learned from school, run it off the internet and actually build it so it actually does help somebody, helps yourself, help some neighbor, improves your life. Like honestly, no matter what the language is, no matter how far fetched it seems, I mean, like honestly, innovation happens from things like hackathons.
Cool. Taiwo?
Yeah, just to add on, not to go over it, it's like, especially as a college student, it really gives you a chance to put everything together for once. You take all these classes, you learn all these different things, but you never actually see how all this is put together and how people make all these cool things that we see every day. And when you get to hack, they give you a question and they're just like, you have 24 hours, come back with something. You have to come up with what you want to build it, demo it, and it's just like such a great learning experience as someone who did computer science. Because for me, that was always a big thing. I always felt like I was learning so much, but this doesn't make like how do they actually do this? How do things actually get produced? And that's where you get to see like all sides of how everything works in 24 hours.
Mhm.
So pretty cool.
That's really cool. So it sounds like not only hands-on experience, but you get the opportunity with the hackathon to connect with like-minded individuals in your space, mentor opportunities, obviously job recruitment opportunities as well. And the goal is to create a real-world problem-solving application on site. Is that correct? You're really creating something that the world could use.
Yep. And
Absolutely.
as someone who now works here, I feel like I've definitely seen some of the ideas from these hackathons being moved forward. So it's very cool to see that people are actually taking an interest in what you do. Like people aren't just making you work on problems just to see like these are real world things people are trying to solve.
Absolutely. And if I could add to that, like that's one of the core things that my team does. So the innovation side of the house looks for ideas sourced from business units, hackathons, any type of competition or maybe capstone project, and say, okay, well, does it meet a business problem that serves American Airlines? And if it does, okay, let's see how far we can take this. They'll take an idea from, like, let's say BE Hackathon, give it to the business unit that knows more about it, and if they have like the resources, like if they have the knowledge necessary to like take it and go with it, like you will see it implemented in the company.
That's really cool to know that some of these ideas are actually implemented in your day-to-day work, right? And being students, being young people, I think that means a lot to know that your ideas, your skills, your mind, and your hands-on application, they're valued, right? What was it like working with, not only other like-minded creators in this sense, but having professionals in this space to mentor you while you were on site?
I think this whole process from the hackathon, meeting people there to starting to work here has been set me up in my career so great. Because not only from meeting the people who already worked in American, but because I went there a couple of years, I met a lot of the other HBCU students who were there. So I made a lot of connections, people who didn't end up working here, some who did end up here. When I moved out here, I already had a whole network of friends that I could talk to, network with if I needed help, go to. And I just I never really had that feeling of feeling out of place because of that. Because it was like I came in with all these people. I've met all these people before. I know people are behind me, supporting me. I know people want me to succeed here because there's definitely people who followed me throughout my journey from before to after. And it was just a really good experience for me and setting me up for the future. And being comfortable enough to come to work and be myself and do what I want to do without feeling like an imposter. And I mean, you have your imposter syndrome every now and then, but it really lessened that. It really gave me a lot of support to move forward with it.
And I'll add one more to that. Like when Ty was talking about his team and the different roles he was on, like back in college, I had no idea there was other roles besides software engineer and like the big maybe three like job roles. But when you get to interact with people who are actually in the field, you get to learn that there's way more options. So like one of the mentors we had during our time in the hackathon was somebody who worked in UX, whole nother side of the tech industry that I never knew about. And there's actually people who code and they do that at the same time. So you get to see a whole lot more than what your university may expose you to.
That's a really good deal, right? That you get exposure to things beyond just the classroom. That's really important. Lastly, I want to wrap up and ask each of you, first of all, what's most rewarding about working at American Airlines? I'll start with Sarah.
For me, one of the things that like I love the most about being here is you get to do more than just one thing. So I knew like when I was in college, I didn't just want to be a software engineer like for the rest of my career. But in American Airlines, it is so prevalent that people not only just are super friendly, like that is one extreme plus, but you don't have to stay in the same spot. So you can go to different sides of the business, different areas, different career roles. There's honestly the ability to choose any type of path and you don't have to get pigeonholed into one thing. And as somebody who likes a lot of different things, I absolutely value that because I don't want to get stuck with the same thing for a long time. Love trying things new and I feel like I get to do that here.
Awesome. And Ty?
And similar vein, I really like the support we have here. It really like throughout all the teams I've been on like three different teams at this point. I've always felt really supported. Like my managers are like, where do you want your career to go? Are you happy with what you're working on currently? Do you want to work on something else? If you want to work on something else, how can I help you get there? So it always feels great to have a very nice support system, and flying is never hurts.
Except flying never hurts. I love that. Well, listen, last but not least, we have young people who are watching, and for those who are watching, be sure to share this episode with HBCU students in your life, particularly those who are interested in IT careers, who are studying computer science, computer engineering. What would your advice be to HBCU students who want to learn more about the hackathon or, maybe curious about this experience? I'll start with Ty.
um, I would say one, reach out to people who've been in this experience before. Um, just know that you are way more capable than you think you are, and you're ready for this opportunity. A lot of people think, oh, it's a hackathon. I'm not smart enough. I maybe don't know enough, but you do, and you're way more capable than you know, and you'll be surprised at what you can produce in these type of opportunities.
Yeah, I want to double down on that point. Like when I did this hackathon, I really didn't know what I was doing. But by the time the hackathon ended, I had so much vision and focus for the next time I go to a hackathon. So much more that I knew that, okay, I know this is how you build a website, front end, back end. I know what to do for the next time. I know what to do on my free time. I know what classes to take. Like honestly, go in. You might be scared, but you will come out so much stronger. So if you have any hesitation, do it anyways.
I love that. If you have any hesitation, do it anyways. That's what we want to encourage you here to do at Black Enterprise as well. Visit blackenterprise.com/hackathon. You can find all the information there. As we mentioned, applications are closing soon. We want to make sure that HBCU students, and also there's a chaperone is required as well, that you find out the information to be sure to register. I'd love to thank our special guest today, Saraah Cooper, IT applications developer at American Airlines, and Taiwo Raji, associate data engineer in IT analytics, also at American Airlines. Thank you both for being here with us today and sharing your journey from being recruited as HBCU students at the Be Smart HBCU Hackathon to now full-time staff doing what you love to do in emerging technology at American Airlines. Thanks to each of you for watching this episode of Class is in Session. Be sure to follow Black Enterprise on all of our social media channels, and for the latest and greatest content on blackenterprise.com, and specifically for the hackathon, blackenterprise.com/hackathon. I'm your host, Ashley Stevens, and class is dismissed.